justice, love, and mercy, for your wisdom on our souls. All sin stay. Spirit strong and bold. Grant us courage then to follow, bringing comfort with each deed. God of justice, love and mercy, with compassion let us care. As we come in humble weakness, may your strength be ours to share. Press our hearts to know the struggles of the ones we cannot see. Brothers, sisters, all who suffer, may your kindness set us free. God of justice, love and mercy, send us out and make us bold as we strive for your high calling. Let our hands your mercies hold. You have blessed us with abundance, gifts to share with those in need. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, may we follow as you lead. May we follow as you lead.
We gather together today with sacred intention to declare that justice is our prayer. We affirm and covenant with the beloved community that this is possible. Not here, not quite yet. The seeds have been planted time and again, and we remember all those who went before us, who made beloved community a dream that could be realized. Justice is our prayer. May our time of worship together continue to water the budding trees of our diverse interdependence. May our time of worship give air and nourishment to the parts of our collective spirits that need to grow and thrive, that embrace equity as a known way of being. Justice is our prayer. May we affirm and covenant with the beloved community that it is possible. May it be so. Rise with me as you are able in body or spirit for our opening hymn, which you will find in your order of service, number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
Lamentation, I hear a real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing what through the tempest around me roars. I know the truth, it liveth. What through the darkness round me close, now songs in night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to the rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends breathe shame, our tongue defile, how can I keep from singing?
We bid you welcome who come with weary spirit, seeking rest, who come in hope in your heart, who are seekers of a new faith, who enter this hall as a homecoming, whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey. We bid you welcome to Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown. My name is Brandy. I want to extend a special welcome to those of you who are visiting for the first time or second time. We invite you to take a packet on the table over there, which is a welcome table by the door. Please fill it out so we can stay in touch with you. We also invite you to join us for coffee and refreshments after the service, where we'll be happy to answer any questions about our church activities and programs. We offer religious exploration classes for children and youth. Kathleen Hogue is our director of RE, Religious Education Exploration, and we can answer any questions you have about UUYO programs for children, youth, and families. We have several announcements today. Some of them are in your order of service. There is a virtual hymnal coming, and there's information sessions if you're interested today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Details are in the program. Today after church at 12:30, there will be a Death Cafe and Schweitzer Lounge, which is just down that hallway. Those of you who are interested, please come. We'll have refreshments, and it's very interesting. I've gone several times. We discuss death. If you have any questions, you could find me or Gary or a few of us after church, but that's happening today. Save the date. Centennial celebration is October 18th. This is the 100th anniversary of this building. It was built 1925, so there'll be more details to come, but you can mark your calendars now. Service will go back upstairs on Sunday, September 7th. Heather, one of our greeters, has a cute little son, Lucas, who is selling mums for his school. So if anybody wants mums to beautify your porches for the fall, see Heather. And this Thursday here at the church, there is an overdose awareness event that starts at 6 o'clock, and there's flyers for that on the table. And once again, welcome to UUYO.
It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Alexis Smith to offer our chalice lighting.
Got introduced. Hi. So, thanks for having me. In June, while I was on vacation in the Outer Banks, I read a great book by Rose Hackman called Emotional Labor. On the first couple of pages of the book, I saw this quote from Martin Luther King Jr. that really struck me. One of the great problems of history is that the concepts of love and power are usually contrasted as polar opposites. Love is identified with a resignation of power, and power with a denial of love. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. Justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. As I sat and thought about it, I realized that many of the problems we have in the world today are related to hierarchies of power and dominance, which place one group over another at the expense of love. Man over woman, white over black and brown, citizen over immigrant, cisgender heterosexual individuals over LGBTQIA+ folks, adult over child, human over earth. Now, obviously, the group on the bottom is harmed, but what a lot of us don't realize is that these hierarchies also harm those on the top, just not in the same ways. So much damage has been inflicted on all of us because of the need to maintain these power dynamics. I would argue that we need to break these hierarchies, combining power and love through connection, collaboration, and community to move forward into a better future where we stop harming each other and can all thrive.
In the spirit of connection, I invite you to rise as you are able and greet someone that you haven't seen before or haven't seen in a while. It's teamwork. This is collaboration.
Put my stuff on top of here, okay? This helps me with that page turning issue.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning. I have been given the privilege of telling the story for today, which I wrote under duress. I was pretty tired. So we had a couple of events that I was in attendance of, and one of them was the Ohio Can fundraiser at the bowling alley, Westside Bowl. And I just wanted to let Susan know you've won 3 or 4 things I can't remember, so Hope will be contacting you. She's here, and so have a couple of other of you that I have already informed of that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We also had a solar panel party at my house. So today's story is called Harnessing the Power of the Sun, and it's a little lady story. Little lady's my dog. Harnessing the Power of the Sun. Lady lived with her mom and Jimmy in a big house and an even bigger backyard. Even though the yard was huge, Lady still wanted walks every day. She had learned to listen carefully for the words that mean adventure, leash, harness, and go for a walk. One morning, Lady's ears perked up. Mom had just said one of the magic words, harness. Lady dashed into the room, grabbed her harness, and tossed it in the air like a circus trick. Not today, little lady, said Mom with a smile. Today we're working on solar panels. The solar panels will harness the power of the sun. Lady tilted her head. Harness the sun? She already had a harness. Wagging her tail, she followed Mom out to the backyard while she zoomed in circles, tossing her harness as if to say, I'm ready to harness anything. Dave, Mom's friend, laughed. My, what energy you have, he said. Come here, little lady, and I'll tell you all about solar power. Lady bounded over to Dave, dropping her harness on the way. Dave pulled out a shiny pan and a flashlight from his toolbox. Imagine the sun is a giant light bulb in the sky. These panels are like magic mats that catch its light. He clicked the flashlight on and bounced the beam off the shiny pan. The light scattered across the grass, and Lady pounced on the spots like they were fireflies. See those bouncy spots of light? Dave explained. The sun sends tiny balls of energy called photons. When they hit the panels turn them into electricity, like flipping a switch. Jimmy ran over holding one of his toy robots. So sunlight makes power, like charging my robot? Exactly, Dave said. And the best part? No smoke, no yucky stuff, just clean energy. The sun gives us power every day, and it never runs out. Dave went back to work, lining up the panels in the yard. He turned to grab his yardstick, but it was gone. Lady had snatched it up like a stick from fetch. She bounded around the grass, tail wagging, proud of her new toy. Hey, come back with that, Dave called, jogging after her. I guess it's her stick now, Jimmy laughed. He laughed so hard that he nearly fell off the swing. Finally, Lady plopped down in the grass, yardstick between her paws. Dave shook his head, but couldn't help chuckle. Well, at least she knows how to measure up to the sun. A little while later, Dave bumped his head while looking for his screwdriver. He did that a lot. He patted his pockets and looked under the toolbox and frowned. Now, where did I put that? He said, rubbing his head. Just then, Lady trotted over with the screwdriver clamped gently in her teeth, tail wagging proudly. Good girl, Jimmy cheered, giving her a scratch behind the ears. She's part of the team. Jimmy wanted to help too. He carried one of the panels carefully across the yard, arms stretched wide. Got it, Dave, he said, setting the panel gently down. Thanks, partner, Dave said. You're stronger than you look. As the day continued on, it also became hotter. Mom sprayed the hose so Lady could drink from it while Jimmy brought Dave a bottle of cold water. Solar builders need to stay charged too, he said with a grin. Dave wiped his forehead. You're right about that. At last, all 4 panels were standing tall in the sunlight. Lady wagged her tail and barked as if cheering. All right, Dave said, flipping a switch. Let's see what the sun can do. The meter buzzed and the lights flickered on in the house, and Jimmy clapped. It works! We're really running on sunshine. Lady flopped down in a sunny patch of grass, stretching out her paws and closing her eyes. Looks like she's charging her batteries too, Mom said with a laugh. Dave smiled. With little Lady on the team, we'll never run out of energy. And from that day on, whenever Lady heard the word harness, she wagged her tail twice as hard because she knew she could harness more than just walks. She could help harness the power of the sun. The end. Okay, I'd like to invite the children up, and we're going to do our covenant. That's printed in your order of service. And if you'll read along with us, please. is the spirit of this church and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now we're going to sing our kids to their classes. That is also in your order of service.
Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere,
Each month, we share our non-pledged collection with an organization that is involved in making our community and UUYO a better place. This month, we are sharing with the Centennial Fund. This year is the centennial of our wonderful church building. 100 years of liberal religion have been possible in Youngstown in this building since its construction in 1925. To mark this very special occasion, we plan to celebrate this event to look back on the last 100 years of this church with food and drink and a speaker. Like I said earlier, save the date, October 18th. So you can use a white envelope that's on the table over there to mark your pledge drive to the UUYO. All loose cash and checks go to the Share the Plate unless they're marked for your pledge, and they will go to the Centennial Fund. And also, I wanted to remind everybody that we are part of the wider UUYO in America, and we pledge $100 per person for the UUYO. So if you have not given that per member, you are welcome to do that. We are more than halfway through the year. Also, we will be sending letters out on how your contributions have been coming through the year. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, or you could see Mary Beth in the office after church. So I just wanted to remind everybody, because I myself for my family have not done the actual UUYO pledge. So just a friendly reminder. So if you're visiting us for the first or second time, we invite you to let the plate pass, for you are our guest here, and you honor us with your presence. Thank you.
feet walking love and justice, rugged journey. Inside, outside, full attention, circle sweeping. Love and justice, love and justice. Love and justice, love and justice. Two arms open, love and justice to creation. Forests, mountains, every ocean, every nation. Love and justice, love and justice. Love and justice, love and justice. Two perspectives, love and justice come together. Moonrise sunset, single kingdom, earth and heaven. Two hands holding love and justice, world is learning. Elders smiling, babies nursing, spirit burning. Love and justice, love and justice, bring us to wholeness. Love and justice, love and justice, bring us to wholeness.
So I invite you all to get comfy in your seats, if you can. These are actually pretty good chairs. There's padding on them. Soften your eyes, close them, really settle in, feel your feet on the ground. Imagine roots growing deep into the earth. You are rooted, you are here. Take a few moments to breathe and feel the connection to others in this very sacred space.
We Rise by Amanda Gorman. Today, everyone's eyes are on us as we rise. Today is the day women are paving the way, speaking our truth to power. In this hour, it is our duty to find the brave beauty in rooting for other women, so they too know we are not victims. We are victors, the greatest predictors of progress. We press for change, a new dawn drawn into the open by women whose silence is broken. We push on and act on. Our responsibility to bring visibility to the most vulnerable, to bring freedom to those who didn't have a choice, to bring volume to those who are using their voice. We clear a woman's way. We don't fear the day. She steps into the light because we are with her every step of the fight. There's a lot at stake, but making a difference always takes great courage. So we encourage women who dare to stare fear square in its face. Women who've always shown that when one woman stands up, she is never alone. We know that when she steps up to right or wrong, she will fight to bring others along, to the network, into the conversation, working together to change communities and nations for generations. Our world, made all the stronger the longer women are able to sit at the table. It is her strength, her story, and her spirit which inspires other vital voices to speak up when they hear it. So let it be said that light will be shed when our world is led by leaders ahead of the headlines, the voices who are first on the front line, these women who stand up, knowing the wind, not by where it is, but where it is blowing, leading worlds not by how society is, but where change is going. We all leap forward when one woman tries, when she defies with her rallying cries. Here lies, but does not rest, the best of tested women who call us all to rise, speaking the truth in this finest hour, that to their own power every single woman is entitled, but it's how they empower others that makes women's voices so vital.
It all comes down to this. What do you require of me? Love my neighbor as myself. You above all things. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with you, God. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with you, God. It all comes down to this: to be your hands and feet, good news to all the world. The truth will set us free. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with you, God. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with you, God. It's beauty for ashes, it's mourning for dancing. It's closer and closer, the kingdom of heaven. Beauty for ashes, mourning for dancing. It's closer and closer, the kingdom. And years from now we'll see the fruit our hands have sown. Faith just like a seed, the only way it grows. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with you, God. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with you, God. In all things, in all ways, walk humbly with God.
The power of love is a curious thing. Not one of the songs today, sorry. More than a feeling, it's more than a noun. Love is a verb, an action. This might be the only time where Huey Lewis and bell hooks are coexisting to open a dialogue about how to harness the power of love. And that's because they're right. The power of love is more than a feeling, more than something that happens to us. Love is something we do for ourselves and for others. We must choose love over and over and over again if we hope to do what Dr. King suggests and correct everything that stands against love and implements the demands of justice. If only these choices were easy to make. To choose love requires an incredible amount of intention, of energy, of power from ourselves and others. When I was thinking about this month's theme, power, I, like many of you, I'm sure, have a complex, complicated relationship with the word and the weight that it foists upon us. My thoughts tended to wander from an understanding of power that is associated with power over others. Foucault's panopticon comes to mind, and the many oppressive systems that we struggle against. And they wander to a more fanciful definition in the form of superpowers for superheroes, like flying or shape-shifting or invisibility. Generally, though, it's been a challenge to see power as a phenomenon that rarely leads down a path towards anything good or real. About 13 years ago, I had an interesting flashpoint in my ongoing internal, eternal struggle with power that illuminated a few important realizations. First, that all of us have power. We know that, right? I hope so. And that those who hold it does not necessarily mean that all power is evil, though some certainly use it that way. And if we choose to channel our power using love as a compass, a great amount of good can come of it. So this struggle happened shortly after I became a 2-time graduate, first from Youngstown State with a master's degree in American Studies, and then completing week-long community organizing training. Both of these educational experiences helped me to see more clearly how systems that are oppressing and harming people are not broken. It's quite the contrary. They are functioning exactly as they were designed, some of these systems even exceeding expectations. And like many post-college graduates, I was buoyed by hope and a desire to change the world, with the conviction that only the well-intentioned inexperience of youth could sustain. But I was burdened by thousands of dollars of student loan debt. I was energized when asked to share my story and my voice and my power to the collective strength of others fighting predatory financial institutions who were burying people with debt through false promises of prosperity, dizzying lines back and forth of fine print, and piles of hidden fees. Bullhorn in trembling hand, voice still a little shaky, I'd finished sharing my story, one of thousands just like it, outside of a large financial institution, in front of many, many other people, mostly strangers, about the uncertain future ahead of me and thousands just like me, post-graduation and in debt. Though terrifying, the experience of finding my voice and adding it to a choir of others crying out for justice was electrifying. I felt empowered. I had just caught my breath when the phone rang, and I was offered a job to work for the U.S. government. In the course of a quick phone call, I quickly found myself spun around and seated on the other side of the table, inside the walls of the institution rather than outside with the people. Once that light bulb switched on, I felt that electricity short out a little bit. So here's where the internal conflict with power heated up. At the risk of sounding a little too Seussian, I realized I didn't like any of this table turning, and finding myself in a new place to sit, I did not like it one bit. Organizing training presented a definition of power that is a combination of organized people and/or organized money. I was very comfortable counting myself among the organized people, and terribly uncomfortable counting myself among those with organized money. Money, capital, serves as an example of a physical manifestation of power and a representation of institutions and ideologies in our capitalist system that thrives simultaneously by wielding power over others and convincing them they have none themselves. More recently, as a continuation of my personal power struggle, specifically, do I or anyone else still have it, and how can we effectively use it? I've been doing some reading about how we found ourselves in the belly of this beast so dark and deep it seems that there's no bottom anymore, no light, and no way out. Been reading about the institutions, systems, and structures that were built to lead and keep us down there, and how we can climb back out into the light, how we can turn this long, seemingly endless downturn into an upswing. So I was most impacted, my reading list lately, by a book called The Upswing: How America Came Together a Century Ago and How We Can Do It Again, by Robert Putnam, who may be familiar to you as the author of Bowling Alone, The Collapse and Revival of American Community. Upswing is a continuation of Putnam's call for people to remember what it's like to care about other people. Can't be that distant of a memory, right? But this time, he's bringing receipts. Here's a very short synopsis of the book. The Upswing incorporates 4 different metrics. 1 is social capital, a measure of how connected people are to each other. 2 is economic inequality. 3 is political polarization. And the final one is culture, whether we're more oriented towards a culture of solidarity versus a culture of individualism. It looks at the last century and then some, roughly 1900 to today, and when you track those 4 metrics over this period, they follow the exact same trajectory. For those of you who are math and numbers people, this is for you. In the early 1900s, we were a very unequal, polarized, disconnected, and narcissistic America. Sounds familiar. Over time, that turned a corner dramatically into a multifaceted upswing, where all of those measures started moving in a positive direction for 6 to 7 decades. Then, remarkably, in roughly the same 5-year period, all of those different metrics turned and went the other direction. All that progress we saw over the first 2/3 of the century was reversed, landing us today in a situation remarkably similar to the one which Americans were living in the late 1800s and early 1900s. So the powerful question the authors wanted to ask was, if we've been in a situation that is measured by hard data, measurably identical to the one that we're living in today, which is a multifaceted, deep crisis in all sorts of areas of our society. If we've been here before, the question goes, and we've pulled ourselves up and out of it, what lessons can we learn from that period that was a downturn, and how can we turn this moment into an upswing? The copious amounts of data in each of these 4 areas appears as an inverted bell curve, so it looks kind of like a mountain, a hill, if you will, which Putnam calls the I-we-I curve. So it represents our shift from the focus on the individual in the early 1900s to the collective as we get to about the 1960s, and then back again. This movement away from making decisions to benefit many, away from sharing power with others, and turning almost exclusively inward, choosing instead to hoard power for oneself or those like them, produces a power devoid of love. When we hoard power for ourselves and starve it of love, how can we possibly use our power to remove barriers to justice? One of the lessons that Putnam posits we need to learn from the I-me-I curve is not giving in to deciding that the long climb uphill is too steep, that pulling the arc of the moral universe closer to justice is too difficult. This stopping short and letting go resulted in the backlash and snapback that we are experiencing today. The only way is to keep climbing and to keep pulling the arc closer to justice, The only way to do this is to do it together, powered by love. If we're able to push, pull, and persevere together, then we may be able to see the new day that Amanda Gorman foreshadowed in The Hill We Climb, which is the poem that she read at the inauguration of President Biden. She says, "When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. For a new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." Putnam's research shows that we've been here before, which is both a comfort and an agitation. But it also lets us, as Gorman suggests, quote, know the wind not by where it is, but by where it's blowing. We've felt this breeze sweep over us before. We can emerge from the darkness and never-ending night if we are brave enough to string our lights and fates together to become a beacon of hope, because we have done it before. Often I think of the protest I mentioned earlier, and the dozens I've attended since, with many of you in this room. Together, one voice shouting alone into the void is hardly anything to pay attention to. It can be dismissed as easily as a solitary fly circling around a picnic plate. But several dozen, hundreds, thousands of voices command attention, like a swarm of yellow jackets in the waning days of summer. Our UU values, interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity, are all powerful tools that we can use to help pull us back towards an upswing. But they will only serve us if we keep love at the center. If we can harness the power of love, it might just save our lives. And when we move beyond the realm of feeling to actualizing, to sharing the power of love with others, we will be able to remove the barriers stacked in the way of justice, to climb to the top of the hill where we can all be free. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, I have witnessed a loud love, an out loud love that challenges me. I did not recognize it at first, the rumble of an ocean I had long been under. But here it is right now, and it looks just like the whole world could be. It doesn't play nice. Why should it, when nice has only ever played it a lullaby? This love demands. A love so loud it lays rocks at the feet of children who can't find their path home across the pipeline any other way. This love is indifferent to tolerance. It invites you into your own heart where God, love itself, has come to take tea with you. Drink and know that other love, this love, always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Perseveres. This out loud love makes no secret of its aim to get you free. But first, set fires. Throw the poison to the ground. Match the love sound for sound. Spirit of life, come and bring everyone. We are giving birth to something new. May it be so. Please rise as you are able to join us in our closing hymn. Jeff, remind me the number. 148.
and east and west will meet and share, and south shall build with north, one human commonwealth of good throughout the whole wide earth.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
There is a power at work in the universe. It worked through human hands. But it was not made by human hands. It is a creative, sustaining, and transforming power, and we can trust that power with our lives. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand on the side of love, whenever we take a stand for peace and justice, whenever we take a risk. Trust in that power. We are together held by that power, and we are always loved and never truly alone.
How many of you remember March 1971? There's one back there. All right, some of you do. March of 1971 was kind of a turbulent time. We had just come out of the 60s, and Vietnam War was still going on. Kids were still marching on campus. There were all kinds of nasty things going on in the country. But there were, what's a good word for it? Demonstrations. There were demonstrations, and lots of people were involved in demonstrations. And John Lennon wrote this song as kind of an anthem for those demonstrations. And I think when I was thinking about what you guys were doing today, I thought this would kind of work for us. So if you would stand with me. And if you don't know this, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is sing on the chorus with me. And it goes like this. Power to the people. Power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, right on. Singing power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, right on. You say you want a revolution, well, you'd better get on right away. Well, let's get on your feet, the end of the street, singing power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, right on. A million workers work for nothing. You better give them what they really own. We gotta put you down when we come into town, singing power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, right on. I'm gonna ask you, comrades and brothers, how do you treat your woman back home? She's gotta be herself so she can give us some help, singing power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, right on. They're singing power to the people, power to the the people. Power to the people. Power to the people, right on.